I can only hope the game sound and mic is okay. I'm still looking into options for. I'm still looking into options for some kind of a new non-HDMI capture card, just in case something ever goes wrong with the second dazzle. Thank you for thank you for that, Ant, as well. Because for some reason, this particular capture I'm using, which while it's still a dazzle, it's a different version of the dazzle than I used for many years, and it has a it's sound for some reason the sound comes in a lot louder than the previous one, and some consoles output is much worse. I'm not honestly sure why. For Shatterhand, I don't remember exact. I don't. Whoops. I don't remember how many stages there were, and I really wanted to label them stage A and onwards, but I don't remember which stages were which. So I might have one too many splits. But at least if an attempt is complete, I'll be able to edit the splits later. I don't remember exactly how long it took me to beat Shatterhand, but I know I did struggle quite a bit with two specific stages. I believe one was kind of a lava stage, and the other one was the final stage. At least more so I've struggled with than the others. Even for the amount of time I spent playing Shatterhand last weekend in the race, I definitely enjoyed the game. I honestly kind of wish it had been in races sooner, because I honestly did want to learn the game prior to the Nescathlon race. It's a good thing this particular boss is pretty easy. Although I'm not sure about all of the different robot custom customizations you can have, depending on which letters you can pick. So the intro of the game starts you off on Area A, and then it gives you 5 more stages to choose from, and then a final stage. So I might have one too many splits. Wait, 2, 3. Yeah, definitely have too many splits. Possibly. from what I remember, people telling me last week in the race, there are some better configurations for the robot assist that you can have that might turn out much better against certain bosses than others. I guess even though these are beginning splits, I'll have to edit them later once I can get used to which stage is which. Okay, use some health now. Oh yeah, that's right, this area. Once you get rid of the storage containers, these odd alien-like enemies show up. If the robot helper you have takes too much health loss, then you'll lose it. Oh wow. I didn't realize that you can actually take damage from the explosion. As a bonus, from what I saw, for the few times I did have it, since you have depending on the letters the combination of the letters you pick gives you a different type of robot helper. For some reason, if you still have the robot active and you obtain those same set of letters a second time, you'll gain access to this invincible power blade-like suit for 15 seconds. This boss wasn't too bad. You hit him a couple of times, he'll start dashing to the other side. Hmm. I guess I could have looked up the stage names and pictures so that I know which stage was which. Because I think it was, I don't remember if it was Area B or if it was, I don't remember which one was giving me the most trouble, but it had to do with this, this flame area. Even for the amount of time I spent on the game last weekend, race-wise, this game was very enjoyable. Solid controls. Probably my biggest gripe with the game is how long a death takes. And the honestly, it seems like you wouldn't have much of a usage for coins in the game, but there's these NES-like objects throughout that you've seen throughout stages that if you have enough coins, you can, ouch. If you have enough coins to utilize it, you'll be able to gain some health, and even in one particular stage, you can obtain, maybe like in one and two areas stage-wise, you can obtain extra life. But you'll need 2,000 in gold. Fortunately, there are unlimited continues, definitely made this, which definitely made this even more enjoyable. Tough game at the end, though. The good thing about this Batman-like thug is, especially if you have a robot who can fire at large distances, you can, if you don't, as long as you don't go too far forward on the screen, you can actually, you can just keep firing at the robot without, so that you don't have to worry about him throwing the grenades at you. And when trying to hang from when using the background, some of the areas in the background to hang, you have to allow yourself time Like, you can't jump to another platform while being at the very top, because you will bonk your head on some kind of a ceiling. I was hoping for a robot helper, but I'm missing one letter. Oh yeah, these aliens. You get rid of one of them, but then it turns into odd, some odd dragon-like, some odd dragon-like creature. This is the only thing I remember that actually worked. Just have to get rid of the scales. For some reason, this weird dragon or worm-like creature doesn't completely it will home in on your position, but you can. But if you stand and crouch somewhere, you might even be able to fully stand up, but it will just circle around you. So you can get rid of that boss pretty easily. I'm gonna save that flame stage for last, because that's at least before the final stage, because that was giving me a lot of trouble. I expect to have quite a number of game overs. Oh yeah, I forgot about the ice stage. Oh, I love these enemies. They want you to attack them, but they'll run away as soon as you approach. Hello, Oyster Printout. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a nice weekend so far. Yep, that Decathlon blind race will be happening very soon. As much trouble as I had in the last Decathlon, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what new games will be on this one. I'm glad the Batman Thug doesn't at least try to close in the distance to attack you, but it does take quite a few hits to get rid of. And it's not the best idea trying to fight it up close if you don't have a robot helper. And as you just saw, just how much it can actually knock your character back. So I'm definitely expecting a game over in this stage, at least the first of many. I still haven't learned how to utilize the robot properly, so I can avoid taking a lot of health loss. Okay, at least the robot hasn't taken a lot of health loss yet, so this will definitely help with the Batman grenade throwing thugs. Even though I know this isn't Batman, they remind me so much of some particular enemies that as soon as they're fully on screen, you'll find yourself being mercilessly just attacked in full force. See, now because the robot was still active, I have access to this great power blade like armor for 15 seconds. It definitely helps against boss for various portions of the stage and bosses. For the flame stage that I'm having trouble with, I'm definitely gonna want that particular suit's power up if possible. Actually, in this particular water section, there's a if I can get to it, there's a port area where I can obtain an extra life. It'll cost me 2,000, but it'll be worth it. Especially if I can make it to the boss. Huh. Okay, I'm glad that wasn't a grenade. Oops. Ah. Good. I was not sure if I was going to be able to reach that controller to refill my health. At the very least, now I can definitely make it to the boss. Oh, how convenient. I actually have... Oops. I have access to the suit. Which boss was this? This boss isn't too bad without a robot helper, but if you happen to have one, it does make it a lot better. Okay, this stage I remember has kind of a gravity gimmick. You'll see later on. I honestly forgot about the fallen rocks. Yeah. I could see a game over finally happening for this stage. Especially since I'm not familiar right now with the fallen rocks. Oh, QD7. Hopefully you're having a nice weekend so far. How do you submit a Kirby's Adventure run? I don't know if there's any kind of event that's coming up for submissions like that as of yet. And see, even though I moved forward and I triggered the enemy to start throwing grenades at me, I was able to just go right back slightly to the left so that it wouldn't start throwing grenades at me anymore. Makes dealing with that enemy a lot easier. I knew I was going to lose the robot eventually. Let's try a different one. Oh wait, this is definitely not the one that I wanted to use. Like, for some reason the flamethrower just doesn't seem as effective. And after every use of the flamethrower, it has a small cooldown period. So what I didn't learn until later about the gravity sections like this, because that will show up later in the final stage. If I don't, I have to do very short hops in order to stay on one particular, to stay on either the ground or ceiling. Otherwise, a full jump will propel me to the opposite. I'm definitely a bit more used to the gravity effect in this stage than the last one. Hey, good afternoon, Rail. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a nice weekend so far. And great job last weekend as well. And also thanks for your help in some of the games. I'm just hoping I remember something from last weekend. Hey, dog guy. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a nice weekend as well. Oh yeah, didn't you hear? Nescathon 2 is so good that it had to come back. Glad to hear you're doing okay today so far, Rayo and Dog Guy. Yes, I definitely urge everyone, especially if it's especially if you're in an area with extreme heat at the moment. Try to drink plenty of water and stay cool however best you can. Personally, I've really been enjoying these Nescathlon races. Although I struggled more honestly with what was that game? I mean, outside of this, I think I struggled more with rowing games than I did with this to an extent. At the very least, I wanted some kind of timed attempt for this, maybe streamers as well. Oops. Yeah, I definitely didn't want. If you move in too close to those weird spike-looking objects, they will close in on you. But as you see, unfortunately, you can actually. If you move just far enough away, they won't close in anymore, which is very fortunate. If I remember correctly, this was probably the more annoying boss. Oh, and that's fortunate. I do have enough for an extra life, so I will definitely utilize the go. Although I'm kind of wishing I was able to get to deal with this boss with full health. This boss is very odd. Here's hoping the extra life I ended up buying won't go to waste. This boss basically just says I can go anywhere I want to. And sometimes it will change the gravity. As you can see, I'm just doing a hit to it, and it doesn't want to do anything else until now. But fortunately, even without a robot, it's not too bad. But you don't want to, if possible, you want to avoid this might be a game over. That was odd. Rats. It flew kind of where I really didn't want it to go. It's a shame too because the boss was almost defeated. That's not bad considering that's only the first of many game overs. But then again, I've been saved by being able to buy access to 2 extra lives. For some reason, the flamethrower ended up being a bit more useful than I expected. Let's see, which one was this? Okay, that's not too bad. I can still stay at nearly a half couple of screen distance. This particular robot might have been okay for the boss. I don't think I'd be able to keep it long enough. At least from early on, you get in the stage. Even if you game over, you'll definitely get more than enough gold to obtain the extra life. I think I'll just stick with the robot attack formation of all B, just so I don't have to deal with. Just so I'll be able to attack from a further distance. glad that certain enemies don't respawn once you get rid of them. I always forget there's an item box right there to the left. After the fall. I'm very glad now that various stage obstacles like lava, fire of some sort aren't fatal. Dilemma, as soon as I jump. Yep, I knew it. I was that close to being able to refill my health. I was really hoping I'd be able to hit the bullet and not get hit by the bullet or the guy himself. And I was already extremely close to the end of the stage. That's a long way to extra health now, so I'm really gonna have to be careful. Okay, at least since I'm keeping the robot safe, that should, since I'm using that particular formation, that should help. Whoops. Spoke too soon. Rats. And this stage isn't really all that bad, it's just me making really bad, terrible mistakes. As it still definitely pales in comparison to the stage I have yet to go to. This is the kind of practice I should have did before the Nescaflon race. But, oh well. Better late than never for some sort of PB. I think the scariest thing is I won't be able to utilize the movie code. I mean, not the code, but I won't be able to utilize the movie theater for total recall attempts. So it's definitely going to be a struggle trying to get through some of those areas with lives. I do not like my health, but at least I have the extra life. Utilizing the gravity very early. That boss wants nothing to do with the robot. Wow, so the distance robot actually does help. Alright, now for the worst stage before the final stage. This stage and its enemies, not fond of it. And all the obstacles. And then even when you think you're through it, the boss in this stage is much tougher than the second go around. So this might take me a while to get through. Expect plenty of game overs. This area you want some kind of robot helper. Pretty much the entire stage. Fortunately, even though you're punching the shield guys, they will eventually take tons of hits, but other than just walking towards you, they don't do much. But they can get quite annoying if there's more than one of them to deal with at the same time, or in conjunction with other enemies. This is the part of the stage that's just extremely troublesome. All those missiles you saw falling at the very first portion of the stage happens here, and you have those gears to contend with. I have not found a reliable method of dealing with the missiles. I think there's at least one or two robot configurations that object which is throwing the missiles at you, you can get rid of it. But you'll still have to deal with missiles. Oh yeah, I forgot I obtained the extra life. So even though with the robot configuration I was able to get rid of the object that was throwing the missiles going upwards, I still have to deal with any of the missiles that are coming down while going up the elevator. So once you finally get to the top of the elevator, if you're going to take damage if you're not crouching to the very right of all those gears. But this boss fight is quite annoying. I'm not sure how to handle the boss fight at the moment without taking tons of health loss. Without the robot suit. I keep forgetting about the crescent slashes that it does. So its attack pattern is, for some reason, if you have a robot, it will jump at you twice. If you don't have the robot, it will jump at you once. It does kind of a spread flame attack once it lands somewhat near you. So you want to be as far away from it as possible. And then it may or may not do upwards to 3 crescent slash attacks along the ground. And at least for this particular fight, all while that's going on, you're on another elevator that's going up while trying to avoid any of the gears that you see. It's quite troublesome actually without having access to be able to utilize the special weapon, a special power blade robot. And I definitely want to try to keep the robot alive for as much as possible. It's a shame I didn't have enough health enough coins for an extra power up, not power up, but at least to refill my health. But at least I'll be to the next section. This part is a bit easier when you don't have to deal with the missiles going from 2 directions. Yeah, without having the robot sooner, there was no way I was going to be able to reach even close to having access to extra health. Hmm. Very tough section. I'm not sure how to handle it safely. This is probably one of my favorite customizations for the robot, but I haven't found much of a usage to use it in most areas. Mainly because I can't remember which letters give me access to what combination-wise. Okay, that's not too bad without the suit, but I have to play extremely safe. Now for the extremely troublesome final stage. I believe there's only 2 checkpoints in the stage, and one of them exists only after you fight three specific bosses again. So now that I think about it, it'd probably be much better to just start with a full 3 lives. As you would pretty much expect from any final stage, they'll throw elements at you for the most part from the other stages, somewhat. But you'll see some new stuff as well. Hopefully all the time that I spent in the final section will help. Whether or not I'll be able to beat the final boss the way I did during the race, we'll see what happens. So unfortunately, I won't gain access to the stage checkpoint until I get through this large section where I have to first fight three of these bosses again. Having any of the extra coins and money will definitely help. Okay, since I got the power suit early, I was hoping to get the power suit for this for the second of the three bosses. But it's not so bad this time because you don't have to worry about the gears. Although I find it odd that it jumps towards you twice if you have a robot. Or maybe it was just my experience with the game. So now with the third section, without any warning, now you have gravity to contend with. Oops. Okay, good. I really wanted that specific, the robot that I've already been using combination-wise. Oh. Now for everyone's favorite boss they love to hate. The worst part about this is if I lose the fight, or anywhere for that matter, there's no checkpoint and I'll be right back at to the beginning of the stage. So this boss is... I won't say he's not as dangerous as the first time you fight him, but I mean, there's really nothing more now than a flat surface, instead of having to contend with the small pools of lava. And just try to just get in a punch or two when you can. If you have some sort of combination of the robot, it may or may not help depending on how familiar you might be with using the robot. I'm very fortunate that all that time that I spent during the race last weekend, and I'm getting here with very limited deaths. So this isn't too bad at all. Still not a great time, but I could definitely accept this for a first, for some kind of a first attempt at least. Individual game time-wise, I should say. Rats. Come on, the boss is so close. Okay, good. If I remember what somebody said correctly, I think even now if I get a game over, I'll start off at this particular checkpoint. Thank you for that, Rayo. I wasn't honestly sure. Was it 6 hours then? Wow, how time flies. So now I have the robot early, which, whoops. I may be able to get the robot suit, I mean the Power Blade type suit, but whether or not I'll last with the health is questionable. Oh, that's a long way to fall. Rats. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna get to the extra health. Oops. I'm definitely going to be struggling just to get used to the wire hanging mechanics. I I didn't want the suit here though. Especially not with only 1 second. Alright, I forgot it can do that. Hoping it would dash again. Rats. I'm assuming there's a safe method of approaching this boss. But I'm just hoping I have more than enough opportunity to I'm guessing the boss is complete RNG with its attacks. Oh, that was interesting. Terrible time still, but I can't complain about at least having some sort of submittable PB. At least that's one game. Guess I'll keep these horrible splits for now and then when I try it again, hopefully I'll have them properly labeled. Still much better than the time the race day was. I think I will try. I'm debating, should I attempt Total Recall